We have been on record on this matter before that it is indeed unprecedented that banks can make unilateral decisions to close accounts. This matter can therefore not be left hanging. Since then, many other people have come forward, indicating that they have suffered at the hands of banks. It is important, therefore, to understand the importance of this matter as Parliament. Honorable Mainir, there are many other South Africans out there who have been subjected to this kind of abuse and inequality. All the people of South Africa in this developmental state where we have democracy should be treated the same. We should not judge people based on their color, creed, or nationality. If there are matters on the table, they must be dealt with in a non-discriminatory manner. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Speaker, we were all shocked when President Jacob Zuma appointed that minister to his cabinet. And we were shocked because we suspected that the minister would not serve the public interest, but that he would serve the private interests of one family, and that family is the Guptas. Well, we were right, because the minister has now allowed himself to become a hired gun for the Guptas, effectively recommending that the executive investigate the termination of certain financial services via a judicial commission of inquiry. And of course, later we were told that the minister had misfired, that his statement was in his personal capacity, and that the cabinet deeply regretted his statement. But the damage was done, and the minister has now achieved what no minister has ever achieved. He has united the ANC, the SACP, and COSATU in condemning him. It is clear that the minister is an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment to the president. He's an embarrassment to cabinet. He's an embarrassment to parliament. And he's an embarrassment to the ruling party. And so I ask the minister, why did you issue the controversial statement? Why did you believe that the controversial statement was reflected in the views of the cabinet? And whether the minister will not reconsider his statement and say right here, right now, that he will resign. Because in the end, the minister must go, and he must go now, because we do not want a hired gun for the Guptas in this parliament.
As I've said earlier on, Honorable Manir has no right to ask me to resign.
Speaker.
Honorable Steenhuisen, is that a point of order?
It is a point of order, Madam Speaker, in terms of 141. You would have allowed this urgent question because you would, as the custodian of Parliament, have agreed it was urgent that South Africans get answers to it. The Honourable Manir put several questions to Minister Zwane. He has not answered one of them. He asked him why he issued the cabinet memorandum. He asked him a series of other questions. Instead of talking about cases currently before the Western Cape High Court, I would urge you, Madam Speaker, to compel the Minister to answer why he issued that memorandum on behalf of the cabinet. Speaker, may I address you in terms of Rule 26(4) of the Rules of the National Assembly?
Honorable Steenhuisen, let me be patient with you. Honorable Steenhuisen.
No, it's not patient. It's my right to raise a point of order in terms of the rules of the House. It's my right to raise that point of order. It says here that you must act fairly and impartially, and most importantly, apply the rules with due regard to ensuring the participation of members of all parties in a manner consistent with democracy. You recognise the Honourable Steen. She put the question as you requested, and now you are allowing that minister to get away from his accountability to this House yet again. I would submit that you, Madam Speaker, are in violation of the very rules that you yourself should be upholding in this House. How on earth do you expect us to abide by the rules when you break them with such imperviousness? You would know that in terms of Section 92 of the Constitution, that ministers are accountable to Parliament, collectively and individually. There's nothing that happens in Cabinet for which they're not accountable to this House for. And he needs to ensure that that minister there responds to the questions that are answered. These were not allegations in a newspaper. It was a statement issued by that minister under the cover of darkness, which has plunged our banking sector into crisis. He must answer.
As I've said it before, Honorable Speaker, that all what I have said on that particular Friday, I want to repeat it here. For those who watched me when I was on TV, that the issues discussed in a cabinet cannot be of public consumption currently. The issue of the judicial inquiry will be decided by the President, and I do stand by that.
Madam Speaker,
The Honorable Steenhuisen.
Madam Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. Section 92(3). Members of the Cabinet must A, act in accordance with the Constitution, and B, here most importantly, provide Parliament with full and regular reports concerning matters under their control. The Minister issued a statement under his own hand into the public arena. It wasn't some cabinet discussion. It was something he
Honorable
launched.
Steenhuisen,
May I please finish?
you have not been given an opportunity for a supplementary
I'm not
question.
putting a supplementary
So
question.
I am now requesting you to allow the next person for a supplementary
Madam
question,
Speaker,
because you are now pursuing
He
an
has
argument.
not answered the question. He is entitled to account to this House. You're letting him
Thank
get
you,
off.
Honorable Steenhuisen, for
Are you
what
trampling?
you are
You're
telling me.
trampling the Constitution again.
Thank
Every
you,
time you go to court, you get it handed to you there, precisely because you don't listen and you think that this Constitution is
Honorable
beneath you.
Steenhuisen,
You're a disgrace
may
as a
I
speaker.
appeal to you
You're a
to calm
disgrace as a
down.
speaker, and you can call the parliamentary
The
protection.
Honorable
You
C.
can call the parliamentary protection services.
The
You are an
Honorable
embarrassment to this
C.
House. You're more of an embarrassment than that minister.